Community Motors West Side, the GM Superstore next to Cinema West. Community Motors of Mason City, we give you more.
This is the January 3rd, 2012 regular meeting of the Mason City Council. The first one of 2012. And before we open the meeting, we're going to swear in our new members. Raise your right hand, sir. I, John Lee.
John. Go ahead. I, John Lee.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution.
That I will support the Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
That I will faithfully.
That I will faithfully.
And impartially.
And impartially.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Discharge all the duties.
Discharge all the duties.
Of First Ward Council Member.
As First Ward Council Member.
In the City of Mason City.
In the City of Mason City.
Iowa.
Iowa.
As now or hereafter required by law.
As now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ms. Marinas. Please raise your right hand. I, Jean Marinas.
I, Jean Marinas.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution.
That I will support the Constitution.
Of the United States.
Of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And that I will faithfully.
And I will faithfully.
And impartially.
And impartially.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Discharge all the duties.
Discharge all the duties.
Of Third Ward Council Member.
Of Third Ward Council Member.
In the City of Mason City, Iowa.
In the City of Mason City, Iowa.
As now or hereafter required by law.
As now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations. Mr. Kuhn. Please raise your right hand. I, Alex Kuhn.
I, Alex Kuhn.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And I will faithfully.
And I will faithfully.
And impartially.
And impartially.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Discharge all the duties.
Discharge all the duties.
Of at-large council member.
Of at-large council member.
In the City of Mason City, Iowa.
In the City of Mason City, Iowa.
As now or hereafter required by law.
As now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations, Councilman. New council members, we're happy to have you. We'll call the meeting to order. Let's let the record reflect that all council members are present. Is there a motion and a second to adopt the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All right. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. We're going to open up tonight with a special item of business, and I'll read that and I'll get a motion here, and then we'll open it up quick for discussion. We have an administrator recommending approval resolution authorizing the mayor, city council, and city administrator to sign a letter of commitment related to the Blue Zones project. Can we can I entertain a motion from council?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Just before I open this up here, and I'll let Brent talk about the application quickly, Mason City has really made a tug at these numbers here. Mason City has moved literally from the bottom. We are currently in 19th place. I believe Sibley, a smaller community, actually edges out here for 18th. But we have moved from 10.14, where we stood for quite some time, all the way up to 14.5%. For a community of our size to do something like that is no small achievement from our citizens. So Mason City should really get a well-deserved pat on the back. Marshalltown is behind us in 22nd at 10.63, so we've widened the gap. I would encourage everyone to keep hammering away on your family, your friends, have them empty their address books, and get online. Go to bluezonesproject.com and pledge your support for this project. Continue to learn about it, continue to talk about it in the community. This is a very excellent opportunity for Mason City to create a wellness program, a comprehensive wellness program for the city moving forward and move us into the next level of cities here in Iowa. You can also go to BZP or text BZP to 772937. That's BZP to 772937. If you don't know how to do that, the best way to do it is ask your grandchild or one of your kids. They're good at it, trust me, they're good at it. And they can show you how to empty your address book out and get all your friends, neighbors, colleagues, family, etc. involved. So this is a great project, and we're thrilled where we're at. And before we have a discussion here, Mr. Trout, would you like to open up and talk a little bit about the application, our partnerships with Cerebral Department of Health, and just some of the other partnerships we have with the business community?
Thank you, Mayor. Obviously, this has been a tremendous effort in a very short period of time. This application has been very involved. The requirements that they placed on a 1-month time frame are somewhat amazing, but we look at that as being part of their point is that are we a community that's ready to accept the Blue Zones as something that will make part of our life in this community. And from that, I think that with the individuals that have become involved, it's clearly evident that we're desiring to be able to do that. Angie Dieterman has been working very diligently on trying to fulfill all this requirement, and of course she's had a large community of volunteers behind and supporting her. As mentioned, the Department of Public Health has been very involved and is looking to support this project with both time and personnel. We've had involvement from so many others, it's really hard to even begin to talk about who's been involved, because we surely would leave someone out and we want this to be a short meeting. So anyway, but obviously the number of people that have been involved have made it, I think, what we will find is a very strong application for us. I think that our position on the scoreboard is one thing, but I think that our past experience in different areas is going to show that we are ready for this, and that this is going to be something where they're going to want us to represent them as a Blue Zone. And so we're really looking forward to, I think, hearing good news in February. I really think we have a good shot at this. The resolution for commitment tonight is, this afternoon, is for the City Council and Mayor and City Administrator to support the project. And after approval of the resolution, I have individual letters of commitment for each council member to sign. We'll turn those back in. The Mayor and I will sign a resolution, and then Angie's going to continue to work on finishing it, including your letter of commitment into it, and her intent is to send it off tonight. We don't want to wait until the last minute, so intent is we'll finish this up tonight and have it in their hands. So appreciate your support. If
I recollect properly, we've got commitments from top 20 businesses in town.
Yes, the number of businesses.
Schools. Can you talk about who else committed?
Well, right now we've had commitments from both Newman and Mason City High School, and the school districts have been very supportive, getting their kids involved. The business community has stepped up to both help us with getting the word out, but also in producing documents. The media has been very supportive for running free advertising, supporting this program, both in print and on air, both radio and TV, which has been important for us to continue to rise in that the success we've had on the scoreboard. Drawing awareness and in the business community just in general, supporting, bringing ideas, committing their individuals that are part of their business to help us with the programs in the future. Because once we get the application is successful, then really the work begins. And we've had to have commitment ahead of time from people, not necessarily knowing what they're getting into, but it's been amazing the number that have stepped up.
All right, well, let's open this up here for a comment from council. Anybody down here? Down here? All right, well, seeing none, we have a motion and a second. Clerk, call the roll.
Hickey?
Yes.
Solberg? Yes. Tornquist?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Marinos? Yes. Keeling?
Yes.
Thank you very much, council. That passes, and we'll get that signed and down. Thank you very much, of course, to everybody, the schools, media, Chamber of Commerce, Saragota Department of Health. Goodness gracious, I hope we didn't leave anybody out, but there's literally been hundreds of people touching this, and they've done a heck of a job. So, all right, well, let's move on here to the public forum. Mayor and council, welcome comments from the public. Absolutely. And we should. We have everything signed already. Ms. Dieterman. This is Angie Dieterman. She's our volunteer coordinator for the City of Mason City. She's been doing a spectacular job on this project. And pleased to present you with the signature of 6 council members. Thank you very much, folks. Please give them a round of applause. All right. Well, this is the public forum. Mayor and council welcome comments from the public on agenda items only during the public forum. Welcome to ask to give your name, address, and agenda item on your topic or what you're referring to on the agenda. And please keep your comments concise. And the clock is right up there in front of you as you look up from the podium. So you're welcome to take the podium. Going once, twice, gone. All right. Let's move on here to the consent agenda. All right, I'll read it first here. Number 2 minutes, regular special and closed minutes of December 20th, 2011. Claims dated December 22nd, 29th, 2011. Number 4, permits. 5, mayor recommending approval of appointment of Scott Tornquist to the North Iowa Landfill Board, Alex Kuhn and Tim Latham to the Environmental Stewardship Advisory Commission, and to reappoint John Lee to the Historic Preservation Commission. 6, administrator recommending approval of appoint to hire Craig Gudak as intermediate accounting clerk in the finance department at a level 9, step 1. 7, administrator recommending approval resolution permit the temporary closure of public roads for block parties and other temporary events in 2012. 8, administrator recommending approval resolution readopting investment policy for the city of Mason City. And 9, administrator recommending approval resolution naming depositories for the city of Mason City, Iowa. Council, do we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Clerk, call the roll. Oh yeah, do you guys want to go on poll? I just heard a motion for the whole thing. So. Okay. Clerk, call the roll.
Marinos? Yes. Solberg? Yes. Hickey?
Yes.
Tornquist?
Yes.
Keeling?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
All right, thank you, council. Number 10 is a public hearing. I'll read the ordinance first. This is ordinance amending Title 12 of the City Code, it being the zoning ordinance of said city, and changing the boundaries of certain districts therein. Zone Z2 suburban district to Z3 general urban district for property located at 2626 19th Street Southwest. This is on First, and now's the time we'll open this up here for public hearing. If you have comments you'd like to make regarding this item, please come to the podium and state your name and address. We'll have 5 minutes. Going once, twice. All right, we'll close the public hearing. Is there a motion and a second on the ordinance? Be received and placed on file?
Move to approve on first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Ms. Tornquist?
No comment.
Ms. Solberg?
Curiosity question more than anything. This is in the Central Heights area, and it's the old Trax restaurant and the house just directly to the west of it. If this is rezoned, can it, if it doesn't work out for commercial, can this still get built on as residential?
Director Myrie?
Yes, the Z3 district is, we have Z2 and Z3, both are primarily residential districts. So it's the higher density residential apartment buildings being allowed use, really very limited commercial. So it still remains a residential district, corner stores, corner offices, a convenience store like across the street is allowed. Has to go through planning and zoning though, and neighborhood notification is required. So it is primarily a residential district. The Trax portion, that lot is currently zone Z3. It is the house adjacent to the west that we're asking to be rezoned, the same as the restaurant. A single owner now has control of both properties.
Which I think would be very helpful because the in and out from the Trax restaurant is very complicated, to say the least, with all the traffic at that intersection. So it'd be kind of nice if somebody could extend something off to the west and go off
Redevelop a
Wilson.
larger site is the goal, I hope.
Okay, all right, and no comments from neighbors, no negative comments?
One
anything?
phone call just asking questions, that's all I've received. And they weren't against it.
I just received a couple asking what it was all about, and so, okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Solberg. Thank you, Director Myrie. Anybody else? All right, we've got a motion and a second. This is on first reading. Seeing no further comments from council, clerk call roll.
Tornquist.
Yes.
Solberg.
Yes?
Hewen.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Marinus.
Yes.
Hickey.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much, council. Number 11, administrator recommending approval ordinance authorizing vacation of public right-of-way. It's an alley, basically, located in Block 2, Section 18-96-20, generally located in a block bounded by 18th Street Southwest, South Wilson Avenue, 19th Street Southwest, and South Harding Avenue, Mason City, Iowa. This is also on second. This is on second. Is there a motion and a second that the ordinance be received and placed on file?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Ms. Solberg?
Again, this is out in Central Heights, so, did we ever hear back from the other two landowners that we were waiting on?
We have not as yet. We evidently have a line on how to get a hold of them, and we're in the process of doing that, but have not heard.
And everybody else is okay with it? And
Yes.
just so that folks know, if there's an alley that's closing, it automatically gets turned over to the property owners without cost, correct?
There is a value setting policy that the city has, but when it's in a residential area, if it's an alley that's been platted but has never been used as an alley, there aren't ingresses or egresses to that alleyway, and it is, for all intents and purposes, somebody's backyard, and it's been functioning like that forever, then the city's policy is to convey it at no cost. In some instances, we do charge for land that is vacated, but in this instance, it met all the criteria for conveyance at no cost.
Do the taxes get increased then because they've had more land?
I can't answer that, but the square footage of land obviously goes up, so if it might be very minor, I would guess, land value.
I just want to make sure everybody knows, because I have a feeling we're going to probably see quite a few more of these out in Central Heights.
In Central Heights, I think the staff memo says we've already done this 7 times, and in the whole Central Heights area, only about 4, I think, alleys are actually open and used and, constructed as an alley. So it's not unusual, we've done it in the past, and I don't think we've ever had property owners object to getting this additional land.
I am, just curiosity is just killing me here. When the road got paved, it was an open alley. There was no access for alley there on open alley. Is there a reason why the city would not have put that in?
It wasn't an open alley. It's just grass. So it's just looked like someone's backyard. So when they evidently paved that street on the north side of this block, they didn't do a curb cut. And I don't know why, except it wasn't an alley. It wasn't being used as an alley. If it was, if it had been a traveled way, they would have done a curb cut, I'm sure. I'm speaking for engineering, but,
Thank you, Director. Thank you, Councilwoman. Anybody else on this? All right. Seeing none, we have a motion and a second. This is on second reading, and call the roll.
Solberg.
Yes.
Hewen.
Yes.
Lee.
Yes.
Marinos. Yes. Hickey.
Yes.
Torquist.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Council. Last motion carried. There is no further business before Council, so we stand adjourned. Thank you very much. We'll have a listening post here in 5 minutes. Let's do, we're going to have a public input listening post of Mason City City Council for January 3rd, 2012. I'm going to call this to order. Public input is not televised. You have 5 minutes. Please state your name and address. You may speak on any agenda item. You'll have about 5 minutes here. So please feel free to take a photo and state your name and address. Don't all rush to the podium, folks. All right, going once, twice, gone. We're adjourned. Thank you very much, folks.